It's opening night on Fox College Hoops, and we welcome you to the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. A season of high expectations for the Providence College Friars, a regular in the NCAA tournament, hosting Siena, and we're just moments away from the opening tip. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Great to have you along. I'm Dave O'Brien. Ben Parisi is my partner, and been 142 games across the country to launch the college basketball schedule tonight.
Best night of the year. Hoops is back, Dave, and a scrappy Siena club going up against Ed Cooley's Friars, who, like most of their Big East foes, have a lot of youth in their lineup.
Well, I'll give you a look at those starting lineups tonight, and they're brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. For Providence, a lot of talent. Alpha Diallo, the junior, returning for Ed Cooley. He's 6'7". He's joined by two gifted freshmen. David Duke will run the point, 6'6". A.J. Reeves can really score. And for Siena, they've got size. Fisher and Seymour both 6'9", but the point guard, Jalen Pickett, will have the basketball a lot. Time for the opening tip now. And Ben, what is your focus early in this one?
Well, you got to keep an eye on the backboards. We heard from the Siena coaching staff today. They've been stressing defensive rebounding all week with their club, and Ed Cooley knows that his team's stronger, bigger, longer, and he wants to use that physicality early. Keep an eye on the paint and the rebounding.
An excellent crew here for game number one. John Gaffney, Anthony Franklin right there, and Michael Stevens, who worked the last 5 Final Fours.
It's getting better than that. Wow, those Zebras.
Ed Cooley in his 8th year at Providence, and one of the most underrated coaches in America. He's averaged 22 wins the last 5 years. He's called this one of the most intriguing Friar teams that he has coached. A lot of that is because of the youth in the backcourt. He's not exactly sure what he's going to get.
It's going to be learning and trial by error, as he said. With a young group, he's going to have some patience early.
Providence with it first, and Reeves off target on the first jump shot, knocked out of play by Siena. The Saints went 8-24 a season ago. And Jamian Christian is the new head coach. He's only 36 years old. Already with 100 wins at the D1 level, though.
We'll be getting into that later, but the success he's had at the Mount has led to this great opportunity here at Siena.
Well, the fans remaining on their feet for the first basket. Duke can't connect, but that's tipped up and in. Nicely done underneath by Reeves.
There's freshman youth. You mentioned the youth at the top, Dave. The first time the Providence Friars have started 2 freshmen since the 99-2000 season, which is remarkable with how Ed Cooley and his staff have been bringing in so much talent year after year, it seems.
Look for a lot of three-pointers. Fisher trying to wriggle free underneath as he'll draw the contact and the foul, but they mean to run up and down the floor and really press it and shoot a lot of three-pointers. Christian in his first year, again, just 36 years old. Coming from coaching Mount St. Mary's, his alma mater, for 6 seasons, and took them to 2 NCAA tournaments.
And did it with a term we're going to say often tonight, mayhem. And it's really turning up the octane and tempo at both ends of the floor.
Diallo with the first personal to put Fisher at the line. Evan Fisher, 6'9" senior out of Pasadena, Maryland. Very good touch, but that one in and out.
Fisher is one of those guys that's going to be key tonight for the Saints if they're going to battle here on the road in the Big East. They like this matchup zone. Friars are going to see a lot of this tonight.
Well, Diallo got a good open look, but that one tipped and saved back to Duke. Reeves trying to wriggle free, and that's poked away from him and out of play off Siena. Well, Ed Cooley staple has been a true floor leader. He's had some great guards throughout his career here at Providence, and tremendous career as he has built this program into a legit NCAA team every year. 5 consecutive trips as that one will roll in and out.
And you think about the fact that only 12 other ball clubs, Dave, have been to 5 straight tournaments. Just taking tradition here in Friartown to another level.
Fisher powering his way in, drops it in. Evan Fisher averaged 8 points, 5 rebounds last season. He is their top returning player.
He is, and he's the guy size-wise that the Providence coaching staff was saying earlier today could, play with them along the baseline after neutralize.
Diggin reaching in, almost got it free. Jackson on the wing. And he's another guy who can really score for Ed Cooley. He had 18 against Xavier, 19 against Marquette. Swishing that one in. A nice touch by Reeves, the freshman. He can be an explosive scorer.
I'll tell you, a lot of preseason hype for these Friars around David Duke, but Reeves can shoot it as well as any incoming slasher in this league this season.
Out of Roxbury, Massachusetts, which has really produced some outstanding talent over the years. Pickett gives it up. Seymour lets fly. That's really his game beyond the three-point line. Campbell got in close, though, and knocked it in.
And that is Ed Cooley pointing to the bench already. Dave furious, and here's that mayhem style that Christian's brought to Albany. Score, get into your full court pressure immediately.
It wants Nate Watson, a 6'10 sophomore, so a little more size there on the interior for Providence. Just getting started, knotted at 5 here at the dunk.
So you're playing at different speeds, different tempos. Now all of a sudden this matchup zone could lull you and make you a little off your game in the half court. That helps.
Three-pointer on target by Diallo. The junior presents all sorts of matchup problems, doesn't he?
And that right there is going to make the coaching staff happy, because that was the emphasis of his offseason, really working on that perimeter game. He was their best player by the end of last year, but it was more slashing and scoring from the wing.
Pickett lets fly off the back of the iron. Tip to Seymour as he keeps it alive. Pickett off the fake. Diallo denying the baseline. Makes a nice move. Gets inside. And an offensive foul. So Pickett charged with the personal, and Providence picking it up from beyond that three-point line.
Well, Siena's testing him early, and the Siena staff told us earlier at the shoot-around today, Dave, we're going to play a lot of that matchup. We're going to see how they come out on the perimeter. It doesn't mean that they're not going to contest it, but you're going to go against and play this much zone offense. You better make some shots.
Nakai Ashton-Langford now in the ballgame, 6'3" sophomore to run the point. For Providence College, they were picked to finish third in the Big East by the media behind Villanova and Marquette.
Even the top teams in this league. See another offensive foul call.
Now Dave Watson just into the ball game, so he will pick up the personal.
That was a point of emphasis coming in this year with the officials, and that's cleaning up post play on both ends.
Siena lost their top 6 scorers from a team that went 8-24 a season ago in the Metro Atlantic Athletic.
That ball is not going to stick. They like to move it. Better be ready to guard dribble handoffs and communicate, especially late in the shot clock.
Shot clock was down to 5. Pickett around it out with his jumper. Herder kept it alive. Pickett on the drive. Downstairs, Friday, and that's in and out. Got a great look, and he'll commit the foul in frustration. So we will take the first break of the night. Just getting started. Friars on top by 3. 8-5 Providence at the first time out. Now last season the Friars went 21-14. That's 5 consecutive years of at least 20 wins. They beat every Big East team at least once, with the exception of Seton Hall. And then they had those 3 consecutive overtime games in the Big East tournament, eventually losing to Villanova in the championship game. And of course they knocked out Xavier. That was one of those overtime wins.
Just a remarkable run in New York City. Friar fans are going to remember that time at Madison Square Garden for years to come. They wind up having a matchup nightmare size-wise with Texas A&M. But to start 2 freshmen, to bring in this many new guys and still be picked, you know, top 3 or 4 in the league, whoever you talk to, really shows what type of recruiting is going on here, Dave, in Friartown.
David Duke, the 6'5" freshman, who grew up just a mile from the Providence campus and turned down a host of national powers to stay home, like Villanova, Florida, Indiana, coming to play for Ed Cooley.
They all talk about that relationship with Ed Cooley from the beginning, early in the recruiting process. Ed's one of those head coaches that recruits like he's still an assistant coach and then forms that bond with the family and the young man. And he's got a good sense of humor too.
Oh, he is. A great sense of humor. Great sense of humor. Loves all sports. And can talk him with anybody.
The other 9 Big East head coaches would agree with that one.
Pickett to set it up here for Siena. Lost 14 of their last 18 games last season. 5 of those by 4 points or less. So they were in a lot of games. Jimmy Ratliff would be really shooting from downtown. 6'8" freshman getting some early minutes.
And this is their philosophy. This is what they're going to do. They hit the 3 and they immediately get on the ball into that full court pressure defense.
Ashton Langford to set things up. Admittedly humbled last year's freshman year. He came to Providence highly touted. Wound up playing behind Cartwright, going just 3 for 25 beyond the three-point line. He admitted to a great learning experience. Shot clock is down to 2. He's going to launch way downtown. Off the backboard, it caroms away back to the Saints.
Yeah, it makes you up your game when you look around the locker room and you have even more competition on the perimeter coming in this season.
Siena, a school of about 3,000. That one buried from the corner. This is a team that can really shoot it if they get a bit of an opening. Ratliff giving them a big lift early.
Well, and that drives Ed Cooley crazy. Hot hand. You'll have the same guy knock back-to-back threes. And this really throws your offensive tempo off, Dave, because now you're breaking pressure. And now you're setting up against the zone. But once again, those type of buckets help.
A.J. Reeves getting off very quickly here. He's got 8 points.
He's got a nice looking perimeter stroke as well.
Gatorade Player of the Year out of the state of Massachusetts, and you're getting an idea as to why, and some pushing and shoving underneath with 13:39 to go here in the first half, and both teams starting to feel it's beyond the perimeter.
So many perimeter options. Is Ratcliffe able to get free, and they swing the ball around the perimeter. You're going to see a lot of 5-out looks. And Providence right now sharing the basketball, and Ed Cooley's top perimeter threats right now are getting the majority of the looks.
Ashton Langford just picked up his 2nd foul for Ed Cooley. And Siena with the ball. Saints have already lost a couple of juniors they were relying very heavily on. One of them, Khalil Richard, to a knee injury, and that'll be a traveling violation. Another one to a transfer, so they have to make up about 17 points that they originally were counting on.
That's disappointing because Khalil Richard was going to be a big part of their offensive numbers this year. And for that devastating leg injury to take place in a preseason scrimmage, you got to feel for the young man.
Malik White, the junior, now into the ball game. Way downtown, Diallo, but short.
Yeah, that wasn't in the flow of the offense.
Smith on the run. And how about that defensive play by Reeves to pin it up against the backboard as he skied up to deny.
Fantastic defensive play, and it really started with getting himself back defensively. It was a tough three-point shot, run out, almost served as an outlet pass, and then the timing on the backboard by the freshman Reeves.
Well, Siena will have the ball, but an outstanding defensive play in the opening minutes. Fisher up top for Seymour. George Darvish with the ball. He's a 6'1" freshman from Romania. And there is a little bit of an international flair with this Saints team, including a big from Geneva, Switzerland. Shot clock down to 11. And on the cut, stolen away by Reeves. He is everywhere at the moment. Flipped up, but that won't fall by White, but draws the contact here with 12:48 to go in the half.
And I'll tell you, that wasn't a clean bucket, Dave, but that was a great example of defense into offense. Terrific ball pressure by Ed Cooley's Friars on the defensive end. It leads to the errant pass and obviously an easy run out with 2 now from the charity stripe. And look, switching, and this is one thing that Coach Christian talked about us today at the shoot-around, is that Providence is able to switch a lot of things defensively with their action. They're going to have to be strong with the basketball offensively. That turnover is now costing them at the other end.
White, the junior, knocks in the first one. David Duke returning. Reeves showing these fans something and something to really look forward to here at Providence, and it didn't take long for him.
No, and you talked about how highly touted he was. It's because he could affect multiple columns on the box score. He's not just a catch and shoot guy. He could fill it up, he could handle the rock, and he could give you the intangibles, which we've seen. The Friars getting up a little defensively.
Smithen on the attack, kicks to the corner. Is certainly a big part of their offense. The long distance shot there by Seymour, who's a freshman. His dad, Steve, was head coach at Drexel. His mom, Doreen, starred right here at Providence in the late 80s.
How about that local tie?
Yeah, she scored over 1,000 points in her career. Nice touch by Watson to knock in two.
You could just see the philosophy that's been instilled in this style for Siena. They just immediately sprint to spot up to the three-point arc.
Duke with some harassing defense, but Siena will have the ball here. Providence up by one. One thing Siena does have is some size, and they expect to be the tallest team, the biggest team in their conference.
They do. This is great size for the MAC, which I have the opportunity to see quite often. And the other thing, despite the injuries you just mentioned, they said they were going to play 8, 9, maybe even 10 guys tonight. They've been shuffling early.
Degnan way downtown. That'll spin out. Fisher with a tough rebound. Tried to take it back up, and he lost it. Taken away by David Duke. And a foul.
That's a good call. That's an offensive foul call by Michael Stevens on Duke. He gave him the little shoulder shimmy.
That'll be his first.
The freshman will learn. You may hear it from Coach Cooley right now.
It's up by one here over the Saints. Fox College Hoops sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. We'll take a look at some of the new faces around college basketball. Feels to me there are an awful lot of them been this year.
A big turnover year. It always seems high in March, but when you look at the numbers from this year, 55 teams have a new leader at the helm.
Including Jamie Christian, first year. Mount St. Mary's, he wanted mayhem, he got it. So this is a big culture shift and a big shift in every way, I think, certainly on the floor for Siena this year. Totally different from the pace they played a year ago.
Absolutely. You know, last year it was, more half-court basketball and a lot of flex offense, and this is a different philosophy. There'll be a transition period. It always is when you go from one extreme to the other, but he is excited about trying to lay this foundation. His excitement comes through as soon as you meet him.
Well, his team going from three-point land. That's a sweet shot by Watson. Bouncing inside. He could be very tough to handle.
Yeah, and it's too easy for Watson when he's able to get that deep back to the basket and catching with that much rhythm.
So many call the Providence front court the best in the Big East. He could be a major reason why this season. Siena started out chilly from beyond the three-point line. A catch inside by Fisher and a foul on the floor. So no basket there. 11-10 to go in the half. They started out for 3 beyond the three-point line. They've made 3 of the last 4. Drew Edwards with the foul for the Friars.
Well, they were a slow, deliberate team. When you look at those possession numbers right there, he wants mayhem. They're out in pre-game layup lines. If you just walked into the arena, you might think every single guy's last name is Mayhem. But no, it's on all the back of the warm-up jerseys. He's want to play full court, aggressive defense. But he also wants to push the pace, shoot the three, and run offensively. And kids, recruits these days, they like that fun style of basketball.
Pickett with the kick. Degnan off target. Tapped out a play to go the other way. Well, the Friars lost 3 starters from last year's team. They enjoyed some huge upset wins. Eventually, national champ Villanova here in February. And as mentioned, Xavier would be a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Fell twice. Edwards down the lane. And a stuff in by Watson.
Well, Edwards too concerned with the defense initially on his drive, but there you just see the size and strength of Watson on the offensive glass as Cooley really urges his guys on from the sidelines.
Providence College is long, aren't they?
Oh, long, big, and physical. And the staff keeps talking about the strength of this year's club, even the young guys.
Trying to get free, and a foul on the play, no basket. Back to the other end there as you saw Watson getting high.
This sometimes a drive from the weak side, which has to bring the help side defenders over, usually opens up opportunities like this. Clear path for the offensive rebounder.
Now Malik White with his first personal to put Friday at the line. Sammy Friday, 6'9" junior. His brother Tyler is a defensive lineman at Ohio State. And another big body, Sammy, 6'9", 243. Out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Thomas Herter returning.
Friday put a lot of work in this offseason. A lot stronger, quicker.
Yeah, dropped about 20 pounds.
Strength and conditioning for this style of play. Huge, huge emphasis by the coaching staff.
Another freshman in the game now for Providence College, Jimmy Nichols Jr. at 6'8". And another guy who can really score. And they think could really block shots at this level. Yellow's pass is tipped out of play. 9:49 to go here in the first half, and 19-15 Providence College.
Ed Cooley urging his guys from the other end to be sharp offensively, passing the basketball. This matchup zone could lull you into those lollipop passes that you got to watch out for.
Nichols on the baseline.
Nice swing.
Great ball movement here by the Friars. Diallo trying to go down the lane, almost lost it. Shot clock did expire, so they turn it over.
And you know what? Credit Christian's group hanging in there on the dribble penetration. All 5 green jerseys communicating and protecting the paint.
Now watching Coach Christian today in his shoot-around and his run-throughs, he's a great fan of analytics. Almost baseball-style analytics, which is another new thing for this program. Obviously cutting edge, and he had a lot of work to do to promote that and to sell that to his kids, but they've really bought in. He's delighted with it.
Oh, statistics on both ends of the floor is huge for him and his philosophy. And by the way, he learned today how big time of a baseball player he was at the Mount back in the day. And, you know, you two big time baseball guys. Yeah. I was so uncomfortable at the shoot around today. I just drank my coffee and had to sit back.
That's only because you're a Yankee fan. That's why. Downtown again. Reeves has caught fire here in the first half. He's got 11, and he's nailed 3 threes.
Tell you, from his freshmen to his veterans, Ed Cooley has multiple weapons and options behind the three-point arc.
Another whistle inside the lane with 8:42 to go first half. Here at the dunk. 22-17, Providence College. And the foul will be on Nichols Jr., number 1. So it will be 1 and 1 time. That'll put Siena at the line.
Big ovation, Dave, for this guy.
Got Emmett Holt coming on. The 6'7" senior, and the fans give him a wonderful ovation. He missed all of last season because of very serious abdominal surgery. It was life-threatening surgery. He lost about 50-60 pounds. Frankly, he's lucky to be here. And the fans with a wonderful moment for him.
You know, it was a powerful story last year, and it was, you know, even more touching that as Providence went through this season last year, this successful season in Friar history, without him, he was always on the forefront of when you talk to Ed Cooley and the players and the staff, that, you know, his health every single day that they were checking on. And these are the stories in college basketball, the positive stories that we should be looking to.
He's worked so hard to get back. He's not all the way back physically. They're thinking somewhere around 80% right now, but former Indiana Hoosier, back into the ball game here. It's going to be a great feeling for him.
And I'll tell you, we talked about the backboards, Dave, at the top. When he's 100%, he is a beast in the rebounding department.
Reeves losing a handle on the dribble, tied up on the play, and the possession arrow will keep it on this end.
I like the scrappiness of both clubs there.
Mentioned A.J. Reeves, hailing from Roxbury, Mass., a huge fan of all Boston sports teams. He says his biggest thrill in sports is seeing the Patriots rally from 28-3 down in the Super Bowl to win. He said right now nothing tops that.
He likes success.
Duke to put it in. And stolen away by Siena. Here's Pickett out front of the crowd. And foul on the play by Duke.
Good hustle.
Now Reeves has already made a spectacular defensive play, pinning a shot to the backboard.
Duke hustling back, but that's going to be his second foul. With still 8.5 remaining here in the first half. You see Ed Cooley about to go to the bench.
So Pickett at the line, the freshman from Rochester, New York. Coach Christian just loves him. This kid, he said that I think Jalen has a special mindset, a special quality about himself. He loves winning. He's got a great basketball IQ. They think he's going to be an immediate impact freshman.
Yeah, not just in the box scores, as you mentioned, culture-wise, the style he wants to play, but also buying in to positivity, shaking off mistakes, moving on to the next play psychologically, and of course, those metrics, as you mentioned before.
Siena hanging close, and they forced the turnover. Pickett thought about the three. Friday with the spin, and tight for two.
Nice little stretch of mayhem right here as the Saints tie it up.
22-22. Diallo, sweet-looking jump shot, not there for him.
Yeah, see, that's not Diallo playing in rhythm. That's forcing the issue.
Under 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
Hey, Friday's really demanding the basketball.
Yeah, very active, isn't he? Got it back inside with a left hand and a traveling violation. So he turns it over, but Reeves has been cooking.
At his best when Duke has been setting him up. And that's a guy you got to chase off that three-point line and make him put it on the deck.
Here, Providence, a good one going, tied up. Providence 22 and Siena 22 as we go inside the huddle with Ed Cooley.
We're beating ourselves right here on turnovers and giving up threes. All right, we got to do a really good job right here.
Well, those are two things that Ed Cooley talked with his club about in the shoot-around this afternoon. This club likes to press, they like to turn up the tempo, and they like to shoot threes. We need to take care of the ball, and we need to guard the three-point arc, and those are the two things that he's disappointed with right now. You know, the term he likes to use, Dave, is Curry closeouts. You know, almost like you're guarding Steph Curry. You know, run those shooters off the three-point line and make guys put it on the deck and take tough contested twos. And we've seen the Saints comfortable at times here with their feet set.
Now both teams shooting 50%. They both turned it over 6 times. That's a tough move inside once again. And that's 13 points for A.J. Reeves, who's doing it inside and outside.
Absolutely. The basketball going from one side of the floor to the other. We've seen good things happen for the Friars when they've been patient.
Well, he is off to a really nice start in his college debut. Pickett trying to spin in tight, but can't connect. Rebounded away by Khalif Young. More size there for the Friars. And a whistle before the shot.
Little nickel dimer by Pickett back there. But offensively, even though he was not able to connect, you see why Christian loves his aggressive offensive mindset.
Number 2 on Pickett. It was Christian's first recruit at Siena. Jamie Christian took the job on May 2nd, and 3 days later he got married.
How about that for a week?
And then right off to the honeymoon. That's not a bad week.
Boom.
In your life. Diallo swings it here for Holt. Ashton Langford looking in close. Diallo. Reeves again, feeling it. Yes, he buries another three.
That's just way too comfortable right now, and got to imagine that young man's going to be at top several Big East scouting reports early. And talk about Curry closeouts and not letting a guy get comfortable.
Well, he's got 16 points, man. He's 6 out of 7 from the field. A.J. Reeves lightened it up here at the dunk. Shot clock down to 7 for Siena. Camper backing away. Shot clock down to 3. Fisher, long range. In front of the shot clock, but they'll get it back and back up top.
And they dodged the bullet there. Young was late to contest Fisher on that hedge.
Darvish spins it up there, and he'll draw the foul. A freshman from Romania.
There have been times where Providence has struggled a little bit offensively, putting it on the deck a little bit too much. Here you see the ball pop. Hot potato right around one side of the floor to the other. Dribble penetration, dribbling with some meaning, and making the extra pass. And it led to a very high percentage look by Reeves.
And A.J. smiling to the other end of the floor. Ashton Langford just picked up his 3rd personal foul for Providence, however, so he'll have to step off. Just over 6 minutes to go in the first half. Darvish, as mentioned, a freshman, but he's 20 years old. He has played for the Romanian national team, so he has international experience as well.
And he caught Langford out of his defensive stance there to pick up his 3rd on the penetration.
Jackson gets it across. And deflected out of play by Siena, so Friars will keep it. Here on opening night, Friars right out of the gate are going to be tested because they've got Wichita State coming up next.
South Carolina. Ed Cooley always wanted to challenge his crew before the holidays. You see, it's not always about turning you over defensively. It's the pressure back to the matchup zone, a little deflection, make you take the basketball outside out of bounds, not able to set up plays clean.
Jackson lifts, got a great look, and he buried the 3.
That's what they need out of that guy.
Well, he's a strong guard at 6'6", who can shoot it.
He was a matchup problem for plenty of Big East wings last year during conference play when the Friars were hot.
Well, Providence has a lot of those guys. That's too strong.
Nice box.
Ripped away by Watson, who has made his presence felt since entering this one.
Absolutely.
Jackson again. Yes, a 3.
Heat check.
Isaiah Jackson, the senior. And Providence opens it up, and that didn't take long.
No, just seems like a minute or two ago we were knotted at 22. All of a sudden the Friars have this cushion now. And it shows you how much the three-point shot means in college basketball. Ed Cooley's Friars are hot.
College nailing from way downtown. They've made their last 5 beyond the three-point line. They're 7 out of 11 been.
Well, you know, good rhythm has been scarce at times tonight because of some of the perimeter shots the Saints have made and constantly setting up the full court pressure. There's been deflections. They haven't been able to get into a flow several times offensively. Now the Friars are feeling it.
Michael Stevens with the whistle on A.J. Reeves. That'll be his first for Providence College.
Didn't look like Coach Cooley agreed with that.
No, not even a little bit.
You don't think he's inviting them to lunch there?
We're talking about the success that Ed has had here, and at the top of the show we're talking about how underrated he might be. That might not be entirely true anymore. I mean, when you've been to 5 consecutive NCAA tournaments, and everyone expects you to keep going.
That's right.
Year after year, as they do again this year.
Started with cutting down the nets the first year of that new look, now 6-year-old Big East. And it's one thing to have that early success, develop guys, and now year after year, top 50 recruits, nationally ranked recruiting classes, a fixture in the top third of the league and top 25. And of course, as you mentioned, the NCAA tournament.
Watson around and in. And a shove underneath.
Is that before the shot?
Diallo's asking the same question. Does that count? And Providence College saying it does, and it does. 35-25. 4:42 to go in the half. They'll get Kadeem Smithen of the Saints for his first foul. So Providence College, after the made basket, will have it. They have possession. Diallo's been pretty quiet. A lot of his teammates have been pretty noisy, though. Right out of the corner, can't hit, but a second effort now for the Friars. Diallo driving hard on the baseline. They can't stop him there.
A mini 4-0 run right there for the Saints. Let's see if they can weather the storm. Watson's getting more and more comfortable down low.
Fisher, short pop. The tip won't go. White will fire. Can't drain that. Rebounded by Jackson. To the left hand. Nicely done.
Not White's bread and butter. Jackson able to clean it up for him. And you see Diallo, multiple ball handlers. They are not hesitating now on misses to run out, Dave.
With the points in the paint, you expected Providence to have a substantial advantage there. Step back jumper, and that's all net. Seymour can really fire it up there, the 6'9" freshman. He came to Siena with a reputation for hitting threes out of Shaker High in Albany, and another one on target.
Ed Cooley fired up. He's happy, but also upset defensively. He doesn't want to just exchange buckets.
It's a 20-6 run. Well, this past Saturday, the Big East family in the world of college basketball starting to fire, now on top, 42-28. Didn't take long. At one point, they were knotted up 22-22. And then Jackson started to drain threes. And, of course, A.J. Reeves has been doing that all night. We talk about Diallo being a little quiet offensively. He got 8 points, but he also has 5 rebounds and 4 assists.
Well, that's why I think he's one of the most versatile players in this league, because he can play multiple positions. He can handle and facilitate when he has to. He's improving the perimeter shot, but he does all the little things, especially when he has to put the ball on the deck as well.
He's named to the All Big East preseason first team in October. Shot clock to 3. Pickett finds an open man. It's Fisher to knock in 2.
Great pass. And now time to set up the pressure.
On the bounce, it's Reeves deep in the backcourt.
I want to get back in this thing. They're going to have to talk about perimeter defense at the break. Friars 57% from downtown. That's tough when you're on the road.
This is a team that hit only 33% beyond the three-point line. The entry pass and an easy dunk by Watson.
What a pass from Diallo. As the zone defense shifts, he finds the open area.
Watson perfect from the floor. 5 for 5. And has 10 points in the first half for the Friars. Fisher bouncing in close, and that's a sweet shot. Evan Fisher drops in a pair.
High percentage look. See, this is the luxury you have, Dave, when you have a Diallo at that size to be your inbounder and take it out. You throw back after the trap, you have a ball handler.
Jackson left open for 3. They can't miss beyond the three-point line tonight.
This one all of a sudden is ballooned to 15.
Well, that was one of the concerns about the Friars coming into the season opener. How would they shoot beyond the three-point line? Yep. They're draining one after another. They've really answered that. And you know what? They've had plenty of airspace, too. The ball reversals have been there. They've been limited dribbling. Really passing it well. Ed Cooley's going to be delighted to turn around right in front of the expiring shot clock. He got it off in time. 2 more for Fisher. So coming up on 1 minute to play here in the first half. The Friars breaking away after the game was tied at 22. Open up a 47-34 lead, and with the ball here, 14 to get off the shot. Reeves, who's had a tremendous first half in his college debut, batted away by Siena. With about 45 seconds to go in the first half. Drew Edwards, the junior, will come back on. And Reeves will take a seat. And he gets a nice warm hand.
Ed Cooley not wanting Reeves, that's bringing so much offensively. Pick up a cheap one.
Watson swings it. Diallo. Long distance and another triple.
Okay, they talked about him improving that. That stroke does look better from last season.
Boy, it sure does. He was 21% last year. Well, Providence has 4 men in double figures already, and not at halftime yet. And they've got 50 on the board here in the first 20 minutes. Fisher floating in, draws the contact there. A traveling violation before any foul, so he kicks it away. And coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, Rob Stone, Bill Raftery, Steve Lavin, and Jim Jackson will discuss the season outlook for the Providence College Friars. They'll be doing a lot more than that with that particular group in there. We also take a look at the first half. Providence from downtown, and Vin will chat with Coach Cooley and get his second half adjustments.
That's the Mount Rushmore.
I'm telling you, that is a phenomenal
studio
yes
breakdown. Legends.
I mean, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, but we'll hustle on back to listen to what the boys have to say. White has to go and get his own mistake, but can't get it. 2.9 to go. And an impressive breakaway here by the Friars from the 3-point line to lead it 50-34. Trying to get off a heave here is Pickett. Got it off in time, but can't make it. Now the game was tied at 22, 7:50 to go. Providence went 28-12 down the stretch of the first half to break away. Coming up next, Rob Stone, Bill Raftery, Steve Lavin, Jim Jackson. That's all coming up next on Fox College Hoops. Providence on fire in the first half at the dunk. Well, getting set for the second half here at Providence, and the Friars with a healthy lead, 50-34 on Siena. Moments ago, here's Vin with head coach Ed Cooley.
Coach, we were just talking. What did you feed the guys earlier today to shoot it like that from downtown?
Well, you know, we've been doing a lot of shooting in practice. You know, Coach Battle's our shooting coach, so I give him a lot of credit.
On a serious note here, what did you talk to your club about? What do you want to see these next 20 minutes?
Well, we want to continue to get better defensively. I think we're gambling and fouling too much, but we want to stay efficient offensively. We want to continue to push the tempo.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest.
Thanks.
Well, he's got to be very happy with a lot of the numbers, though, the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime stats. You see how well they've shot. It's 66%, 10 out of 16 from the three-point line. Points in the paint, nice advantage there as well. They've forged ahead in the rebounding statistic as well, and they've had 13 assists, so they continue to be very unselfish. All things considered, a really fine first half for Providence College, and ended on a big run, 28-12.
Literally took care of every department you have to dominate offensively there. Let's see if they can bring it back on this end.
Siena opening up the basketball, trying to cut into that lead here in the second half. Pickett up top, drops it in. He knocks home a three-pointer. So a good start for the Saints. Top scorer was A.J. Reeves with 16 points in his college debut. 6 out of 7 from the field, and that was in 17 minutes.
The way they like to play.
Jackson gives it up for Duke. Shot clock at 10 now. Jackson will pull up 5 to get off a shot. Duke off the fake. Has 2 seconds to get one off. Diallo on the baseline denied. And a shot clock violation. A tight defense to open up by Siena here in the second 20 minutes.
The coaching staff urging Duke shoot the ball. Thought he passed open a couple looks there and let the shot clock run down farther than it had to.
The Providence College last year was 258th in the nation, Vin, in three-point accuracy. To come out of the gate and fire it like this is impressive.
Consider the year that they wound up having last year.
And again, that one front rim. Pushing the tempo, here's Jackson. Reeves will finish that one. So he is off and running right out of the gate here in the second half.
Well, we've seen the skill set. We've seen the perimeter shooting touch. Now he's just showing you the type of athlete he is and how he could get out and play that transition style of basketball.
Degnan looking inside, nothing there for him.
Look at this matchup.
Well, 3 to shoot. Siena has to hustle. Degnan gets a look and buries it. 3-pointer on target. Well, Siena making noise like they want back in this one.
Coming out with confidence. See, they aim, this coaching staff told us earlier today, for 75% paint touches. They've been going inside and outside here. You can tell they talked about that in the locker room at the break.
Short-range jumper won't fall by Young. And Siena comes away with it. Again, just 8 wins all of last season. Very bad year, obviously. 8-24. They went 4-14 in conference play. Jimmy Patsos was dismissed at the end of the year. Camper got a great look and hits a 3. Siena with the hot hand.
Paint touches does not just have to be off dribble penetration, off post feeds as well. And they have a lot of inside-outside action cooking here early.
And just 9 points down all of a sudden.
The 3-point shot does.
And on the high post. Long distance. Yes, on net. Reeves again. Boy, the youngster not exactly looking like a freshman.
No.
21 points.
Makes it look easy.
55-43 Providence College. Camper for Fisher. He swings it. Seymour. Yes! They can't miss all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, you start looking up at that scoreboard. A little mayhem has creeped in.
Jackson down the paint. And a strong move and a foul as well. Not to be denied. Isaiah Jackson, the senior, came off the bench in the first half and really lit things up.
Yeah, well, you're seeing the versatility and you're seeing the ability to score off mistakes of the opponent, and they are just having their way offensively with the Saints, both in the half court and now in the full court here.
Now the foul on Jalen Pickett, a freshman, so important for the Saints. That's his 3rd foul to put Jackson at the line for a 3-point play.
Yeah, he's the guy that they got to have out there.
Give Jackson 14.
I'm going to play him major minutes. He may just have to play right through this. Nobody at the scorer's table for him.
Friday off for Smithing.
He slipped.
A double team. Got a pass out of that, and he threw it away. Under the pressure, he coughed it up. 58-46, so things tightening up because Siena came out gunning and hitting. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee and back here Providence. And the main story, and the Friars building up a 58-46 lead, has certainly been A.J. Reeves, the freshman out of Roxbury, Mass. He averaged 27.5 points a game in his high school career.
I'll tell you, and his top hobby he lists, Dave, in the media guide is cooking. And he is cooking tonight. Inside, outside, defensively. It started with him being set up by Diallo and his teammates to spot up on the perimeter against the Siena zone. And he caught fire. He got it done defensively, showed his athleticism. He's just been playing at another level, especially when his feet are set from behind the arc. 21 points, 8 for 9 from the field, 5 for 6 from downtown in his first collegiate game. And how about this? 21 minutes. And he's on pace for 40.
We will see where it ends tonight, but it has been some debut for the 6'6" rookie. David Duke handling the rock here. Underway here in the second half. Reeves 21, the most in a debut by a Providence player in the starting lineup. And swished in, and there is no stopping number 10.
Phenomenal. And the scary part is, for Big East opponents, he wasn't the co-rookie of the year with the Big East at Media Day last week.
Pick it up top, trying to double team. Friday to the paint, lays it in. Strong move there. Sammy Friday. And I talked about the big junior dropping some weight. Tough pass to handle. Jackson had it off the fingertips. Out of playoff Siena, though.
And at this point, if you want to keep this thing in shouting distance, if you're Siena, you need to glue yourself and stay attached to Reeves on the perimeter. Don't help off him. Chase him off the line. Make him put it on the deck.
Well, he's open again. And the same result. Nothing but net.
How could you be 7 to 8 feet away from him, the way he's been shooting it?
27 points, Ben. He's 10 out of 11. 7 out of 8 from the three-point line.
He's in his zone.
Yeah, they have no answer for A.J. Reeves. Spinning on the wing. Here's Friday again. Shot clock down to 8. Pick it off to fake. Shot clock at 3. They've got to get a shot in the air. Herder on the pass, but one too many. A little too unselfish, and they give it away.
I mean, the hottest guy in the entire New England area tonight, closest defender 10 feet away. That's just too easy, the way Reeves is shooting the basketball at the dunk.
Jackson will pick up the foul in the backcourt. These shots are not touching iron.
Oh, that's a great point. They've been all nylon.
All nylon, one after another. And then if they decide to go after him, he can certainly go inside and play above the rim anytime he wants to. A very, very exciting freshman here for Providence.
You just see his length. He could be a factor defensively big time on the perimeter this year.
Fisher down the paint, wanted the backboard, but no. Good push in the tempo for Jackson. And a kick off Diallo and out of play. Back over to Siena.
There's a sloppy one-handed one by Jackson. Ed Cooley urging him to take care of the rock.
So Providence on top 64-48, coming up with a 14-minute mark here at the dunk. No room for Darvish there, try to penetrate. And he'll call out another play, but again the shot clock is down to 7. They just had a shot clock violation. Up top, long range, and that's off the back of the iron. That won't drop for Jimmy Ratliff. Reeves again. This time in the lane, trying to give it off, and he turned it over. Siena forcing the turnover.
I like the mindset if you're the staff, trying to make something happen off the bounce, not just relying on catch and shoot. Good activity defensively.
And Reeves reaching, but off the Friars next Tuesday. Wisconsin taking on Xavier at 6:30. And Wednesday, reigning champ Villanova taking on Michigan in a rematch of the national championship at 6 p.m. The Gavitt tip-off, sponsored by Jeep on FS1, or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
You get to see the defending champs this Saturday evening.
You and I both, indeed, on their home floor. Fisher looking for the paint. And rebounded away. Here come the Friars again. Diallo on the move. Crosses over and knocks it in. That's sweet.
Well, we've seen flashes of it. His improved perimeter game, as Ed Cooley applauds. How easy did that look?
So up to 66-48 for the Friars here in their home opener. Darvish looking in tight and batted away. The Friars forcing another turnover. Diallo all by himself, went to the left hand, but no. Ratliff here for the Saints. Seymour with a catch and shoot, and buries it.
So man, not afraid to make you pay and let it fly, not only in the half court and in transition as well.
And He's got 12. He's 4 out of 5 from three-point land. Kick ball, 12:02 to go here in the second half.
This is in transition. Quick left to right cross. Nice and soft with his touch. And that what makes Diallo so versatile. His size at 6'7", he can play out of the high post against his own offense for you, operate along the baseline, and then handle it for you like right here in the open floor.
Yep, running the point. Mr. Versatile on a fall away. Holt can't get it to go. Diallo at 13.6 rebounds, 5 assists. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and you're going to see that. Affects so many columns of the box score.
That's another big rebound. Duke with a kick. Right on the baseline tonight.
Duke's mindset is to push, push, push.
He goes down, takes a slip, and down on the seat of his pants, they're going to call that a travel. And we will take a timeout here, about 11.5 to go in the contest. And the Friars in command. Let's go inside the huddle now. Ed Cooley.
No turnovers. 4 turnovers in 5 possessions. 41-53. Guys, the game is still right there. We need a cherry right here. Listen, Alpha, when you get the ball back out, you have to advance it, and that's where our numbers are. Get to the rim. Get to the rim. Those should be and one dunks. Drive it, make 2 play it. It's our numbers game. 41-53 on the.
We see Ed Cooley right there. He wants to keep it simple and keep it aggressive. Get 5 white jerseys out on the break, sharing the basketball. Most importantly, Dave, being strong at the end of these possessions.
Friday to the other side of the iron, draws contact and makes the bucket. Certainly a highlight for him tonight, as he will draw the foul. 11:20 left. And the personal will go against Nate Watson. And for Nate, that's number 1. So that'll put Friday at the line, the big junior from Jersey City, New Jersey.
Listen, when you hear Ed Cooley breaking it down there in the huddle, it's the nature of coaches early in the year to be perfectionists. He's talking about the turnovers. They have 16 assists. And usually when someone dominates with 27 the way Reeves is, you think of the ball always being in their hands. We think the ball was in his hands for about 10 seconds tonight.
Yep, maybe.
I mean, it's his teammates setting him up.
Well, Duke couldn't finish on the backdoor cut. So he misses the lay-in, 66-54. So maybe a little bit of an opening here for Siena to creep back in it.
I'll tell you, every time it looks like they're going to pull away, something like this takes place and a big one drops, and they've been able to stay within shouting distance.
Seymour unable to connect. Old thought about it. Duke will. Rebounded away by the Saints, so they're hanging in. With about 10.5 left, still in the ball game. Seymour off the fake. His fall away. Short. Tip to the Friars. Here they come again. 21 wins this season to go for Providence College, en route to the NCAA tournament. For the 5th consecutive year, one of just 13 schools in the country who can say that. Shot clock now at 10. Diallo can't cash in. So suddenly the Friars are a little bit chilly. I heard Ed Cooley telling them, go to the rim, take it to the rim.
I think you may see stretches of this in conference play. You know, if Reeves and their top threats aren't making it, who's going to step up on the perimeter late in the shot clock and be able to knock some of these down?
Seymour again. No. And Providence has missed their last 5 shots. Saints really unable to take advantage of that opportunity, though.
You mentioned their turnover as well. Christian and the coaching staff still trying to find their identity out on several possessions on the floor. Positions, excuse me.
And Pickett will set it up now with 9:10 to play. Pickett looking underneath off Friday's fingertips and out of play. A little too much on that one. Well, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern Time only on FS1. Now Reeves back on as Holt will take a seat now for Providence. Reeves 27 points, 10 of 11 shooting in his first college game. White to walk it across now. Ashton Langford playing in some foul trouble. He picked up 3 fairly quick fouls in the first half.
It's always so tough to get back in the rhythm sometimes in the second half when you have that choppy first half and foul trouble.
Reeves with the fake. Tough traffic underneath and a foul against Siena. He's going to draw a lot of attention with shooting nights like this.
Well, and there's what lies in having a hot hand from deep is that they're going to try to close out, chase you off that three-point line. Now you're able to put it on the deck and make some stuff happen from the charity stripe.
Fisher with the personal, put Reeves at the line. And Smooth there as well.
High-level perimeter shooters, boom, are able to get there. Defenders running by them, able to get action in driving lanes to the cup.
Reeves can also play the point a little bit if needed. Makes them both 68-54.
I'll tell you, they may have games this year where 4 to 5 guys run the point in various possessions. They have that type of versatility in the ball handling department.
But in Reeves, they have a serious off guard too.
Oh yeah.
Jumping into paint, Pickett, nothing there. Smithen will swing it. They want Fisher again. And a foul here against Providence, and that'll go against, I think, Nate Watson. That's number 2 on Nate.
John Gaffney trying to clean it up there in the post. Post defense and emphasis by the officials this year to clean it up on both ends.
Now the hook and hold, the arm lock, a big area of emphasis, right? This season he's on the line, and that's going to be a turnover for Siena. Jimmy Ratliff kicks it away. 8:06 to go. Play's got a little bit choppy really on both ends the last 3 or 4 minutes here. Providence was seriously locked in for a long run right before halftime.
Well, you're going to see both these squads. They're not going to be concerned about the scoreboard down the stretch. I mean, you got guys on both sides trying to crack into this lineup consistently, and a lot of young freshmen and sophomores trying to prove and earn their minutes with their head coach.
They got a nice crowd here tonight at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. Kind of nasty weather outside, chilly and rainy. Certainly election night, part of that. Fairly early start. Tiptoeing into the lane, and that's going to be a turnover. And when we return on this election night, it only seems right that Ben will cast his Big East ballot for the upcoming season. You will not want to miss it. On Siena, 68-54. Election night, Ben, I want to see your ballot.
All right, we'll see it. I think the league, until proven otherwise, goes to Jay Wright and the defending champs. Marquette, so much offensive talent there. I'm going to give the edge to St. John's over Providence because Shamari Pons is the preseason player of the year. Mustafa Heron, all conference from the SEC in Auburn. He joins the club. Individual awards, Shamari Pons is the most talented offensive player in a very young Big East this year. Exciting times for him. I think when you look at newcomers, David Duke, Ed Cooley said he's one of the co-freshmen of the year at Big East Media Day, voted on by the coaches. Said Duke is ahead of schedule from where Chris Dunn was.
Wow.
Dave, as a freshman offensively. And I really think if you're looking for potential for Big East Coach of the Year, Coach Wojo at Marquette, if that team could finally buy in defensively as to what he wants from his club, they have some of the best offensive talent in shooting, not just in the Big East, but nationally. Marquette could have a monster year.
Reeves from the corner, in and out this time. Watson did a great job getting up top to keep that alive and batted away. So new shot clock here for the Friars. course, A.J. Reeves may have heard about your decision not to make him the Rookie of the Year in the Big East.
Well, now, keep in mind, when I casted this ballot, it was way before A.J. Reeves caught fire like this, States.
Of course.
I mean, from when I put the ballot in the actual box on Election Day.
You may be allowed to reconsider.
Thank you.
We shall see. Duke has a very bright future ahead of him. Wriggling inside and 2 for Pickett.
Actually, the polls don't close till 9 p.m., right?
Right. Good time to get back in that box. 68-56. Reeves drawing more attention and a foul on the deck with 6:27 to go.
Listen, the crowd is chilling right now like it's a 20 to 25 point game. This is a 12-point ball game, by the way.
Yes. Thomas Herter with his first foul for Siena. And he will hit the bench.
Ed Cooley is not relaxing on that sideline.
Well, he told them in that timeout we played for you and had the mic in there that the game is right there. It's still for the taking. In other words, it's not over yet. Justin Langford gives it up. Reeves airborne. No foul. Pulled down by Jackson. That won't roll in on the second effort.
Hey, that was crafty and aggressive by Reeves, though. Look at this.
Swished in on the long jump shot by Degnan. And all of a sudden, right to your point a moment ago, it has tightened up.
You take off 3 or 4 possessions against a team that wants to emphasize the three-point shot, you could find yourself in a jam in a hurry.
Justin Langford to the paint, trying to slice in. That's a beautiful play for 2 and one they really needed.
His best possession of the night.
Sophomore out of Worcester, Mass. 5:20 to go. 70-59 Providence. Pickett on the bounce speed for Fisher and 2.
One thing that suffers from a coaching standpoint with your club, especially early in November, Dave, is communication. Getting guys to verbally talk and be on the same page. And it's no more practices, scrimmage, and exhibition game. It's the real stuff. And you don't hear a lot of chatter right now. And that's how you know that we're so young into this season.
That's a Langford again. Little floater. Teardrop off the window. And he knocks it in. He's had a couple of important hoops here. Down the stretch of the last 5 minutes. His first 4 points of the game.
Back-to-back possessions has gotten it from single digits back up to double.
Seymour on target. Man, he can shoot from way downtown. 72-64.
Plenty of freedom and green light in this system and philosophy. We have an 8-point ball game despite one of the best offensive nights here in the dunk for the Friars in a long time.
By A.J. Reeves. Although he's been a little quiet here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Jackson to the lane. Stops. Yes. Give him 2 more.
That was easy.
16 points. 74-64. A couple of times it's looked like the Friars were about to just blow away any chance of this being a close one. Seymour again, too strong this time. Degnan keeping it alive. He really battled for that. Pickett in heavy traffic, triple team, way outside, and another three-pointer.
7-point ball game.
Degnan buries it.
They're gonna have enough time though. The clock is on your side if you're Providence.
Just over 3 minutes to go. I think a lot of the fans are stunned at the moment.
And Ed Cooley's telling those guys, we're under 4 minutes. Slow down. Why are we trying to push it up the sideline? Walk it up and use that clock.
7-point game at a whistle with 2:59 to go and very much a game as Siena has caught fire.
Saints are hot, and it's not just Seymour. Coach Christian's guys sharing the rock around the perimeter, making the extra pass, seeing what we saw early. That one from Seymour is from Steph Curry range.
Let's get caught up early on Providence doing pretty much whatever they wanted to do offensively.
They did. It was big-time offensive numbers in the first half. The Saints came out, they made some shots early, but then Ed Cooley's guys, Dave, started to settle down, and most importantly, they started to share the basketball. See, 4 players for 10-plus points. It seemed like every single bucket they got in the first half had an assist behind it. And they were unselfish, not just in the half court, but in the full court, pitching it ahead. Phenomenal shooting from downtown, and it's the three-point shooting of the Friars tonight, folks, which got them that initial surge and lead. But it's this guy, A.J. Reeves, activity defensively, came out proving to his coach that he wanted to play hard, put it on the deck and slashing, but then his teammates started to get him involved, and he started to put a show on from deep, and that's what really got Providence on the same page against the Siena zone. A.J. Reeves, the freshman, lighting it up.
But maybe the only thing that could slow him down is some sort of an injury. He is getting treatment on their bench as we speak on his leg. Jackson pulls up, free from the corner. White, he can't bury it. Diallo off the fake and made it. He'll go to the line as well. The Friars in dire need of a play like that, 76-67.
Absolutely. I mean, this one was just huge in general from a scoreboard perspective. Diallo being able to get into the right position, and there's that strength there with an old-fashioned three-point play that they needed to stop the bleeding.
Last year, a 73% foul shooter. The junior from New York. Three-point play. So back up to 10 here at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Opening night for college basketball. 142 games to kick off the schedule across the country. Approaching 2.5 minutes to go here. Pickett using the shoulder, trying to lean in. Seymour back to him. Shot clock at 9. Pickett again, trying to attack. Slams on the brace. Shot clock at 2. Had to get it in the air. White with some spectacular defense. He shut him down. But they get it back.
Then give it right back.
Taken right back by the Saints. Two minutes to go. And a 10-point lead for Providence.
They're just clamping up and staying attached to all shooters, post and perimeter.
They want Pickett to handle it. He'll fire the jumper. No. Rebound tipped and hauled in by Diallo.
Ed Cooley wants to use clock. I can tell these young guys to slow down on more than one occasion tonight.
Diallo with it up high. You expect him to get a lot of touches here down the stretch. Duke gets it up there. Rolls off the iron. Rebound fought for it. Diallo comes away with it. He's making big plays when it counts.
All the little plays, the intangibles. And that's what you saw down the stretch of last year, to where when the Friars are playing their best basketball in February, and especially the Big East tournament, Alpha Diallo was Ed Cooley's best player. And it's the versatilities and all the little things on both ends.
We'll start your day with First Things First. Join Chris Carter, Nick Wright, and Jenna Wolf for the best sports show on television. Weekday morning, 6:30 Eastern on FS1. And Diallo is 16 points, 10 rebounds. And now Duke is getting attended to on the bench. Another freshman.
Hopefully these are just little, knick-knack injuries. Welcome to Division I Big East college basketball, and nothing serious.
And just over a minute to play. Up 10. Providence with the ball.
So you credit Siena, though. They played hard and with passion for 40 minutes.
And really fought their way back into it. It looked like it was a lost cause several times.
No, they have bought into Coach Christian's system for sure.
Bounded away by Fisher. They've got about 40 seconds to go. Way downtown. Degnan not there for him. Well, they hit plenty of them to get back into the game, but here in the final seconds, Providence on top by 10. And the Friars on their way The season opening victory. Ed Cooley has to be really happy with many parts of this victory here tonight.
No question. And excited about his options. You know, you're just watching tonight in glimpses and flashes. They have several different lineups, small and big, that they could throw at you. It's going to be interesting to see where this club is at as conference play approaches.
Yeah, they could be a matchup nightmare for a lot of people in the Big East. And out of it, here's Pickett. Rebound hauled in by Young. And the final seconds ticking away here at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. The Friars will win it on opening night, 77-67. The final score as they knock off Siena. Things certainly looking up for the Siena Saints after a dismal season last year. They're going to be a tough opponent.
Very aggressive, pesky group, and solid job by both clubs playing it at both ends of the floor at a high level in the hustle department.
As Siena trailed by 18, they closed it to 7, but the Friars hold them off 77-67.